Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday with me, Ryan, aka Mac. This is a weekly show which covers everything from the world of Star Citizen over the past week. Links to everything discussed can be found in the description below, so let's get on with it. This week we hear more on character customization, check out the piping system, plus we have a Star Citizen Orion voice pack to give away. If you are still to sign up to the RSI website, please use my referral code as shown on screen or in the description, and you'll receive 5,000 United Earth credits which can be spent in the Voyager Direct store for your ships, your character, or whatever you choose. You don't have to spend anything to sign up. It's only once you pledge that I'll be granted an RP point, which will get me some little rewards in the future. So this week we had another 10 for the devs as Chris Roberts is still away. We had the writer Adam Weiser and the artist Omar Aweda. First question, when thinking about NPCs, how much variation can we expect? Will we see a few clones or are they all going to look unique? Now they say currently they have a set of scanned actors. In a few years there will be more scanned heads and then they will reuse some physical assets. But when hair, eyes and clothes and voices all come into play, when they can change them around, it will not feel repetitive. And they also have new tech and new techniques to customize faces. It is difficult, they say, but it's a goal to shoot for. And maybe when procedural generation becomes more of a thing later on, they will try and use that. Right now, though, they say it's enough to go with. You should not recognise people all the time. So, second question. Will NPCs notice if you are wearing a higher or lower social economy style clothing? What about from different systems? And could this affect any missions or business deals? And they say that they're already starting to break down the styles on the lore side, so we know there's a frontier, there's the earth blue collar, terror, fashion casual, so on and so forth, so many different styles. LZs will feel diverse. It is the idea to have your personal presentation affect how NPCs will react to you, and something they mentioned a while ago was when it comes to showering, they may have a feature where if you do not shower at all in the whole game, then people will sort of react to you differently in the streets, but it won't be a game-breaking reaction because they don't want people to have to be forced to shower every day. So there maybe if you shower every sort of month or every week or whatever, then perhaps they'll let you get away with it. I don't know, it's still, just speculation. But also, if you walk into a seedy bar with a three-piece suit, then yes, the goal is for the NPCs to react to you differently than if you just walked in your casual gear. Design side of things, they're not sure how it'll work, but it is something they want to achieve. So, third question. What role do lore polls play when determining the events in the persistent universe? For example, we've just recently had a senatorial elections poll. Now they say the May the 3rd is the official election day for the UEE. They've been running a campaign throughout the months before this poll in Elysium for Suj Kosi, who is the first Tavarian to ever run for a Senate position. They do take into consideration our votes and will continue to do so. Things have changed in the past where they put out a poll thinking they were going to do something or take something in a certain direction, and then our votes changed their mind, and so they went in a different way, which doesn't mean that they're not going to involve their original decision. It just means that we get that first. So, next question. In what way will you portray the physical presence of our characters? Now, when it comes to customization, you won't be able to change the size, as in the height or the weight, too greatly, as they still need to fit within the standard sort of chairs or cockpits, without clipping through the geometry, which is something we saw earlier on. Right now, the heavy armor is huge. That will give you a lot of presence, but you will be slow, you'll be sluggish, and you'll be very easy to spot. On the other hand, if you had the light armor suit, you would look more slim, be more stealth-like, and you'll be able to sneak easier. When it comes to customizing, they need time to see what path to take. Right now, they just want to get the most basics down. So it is iterative, so over time, we'll see more things come down the line, and they'll just test them and see how they go. So, next question. Do you expect we can see some form of the origin story? So, maybe the earlier Mesa days in a novel format. So basically, will there be a Star Citizen novel? And say yes, there is enough stuff to do so yes, they don't see why not, but right now, obviously, they still have a game to complete. So, eventually. Next question, which piece of clothing would you most want to wear? Now, Omar says he really wants to wear the Navy pilot flight suit, which we saw Mark Hamill wearing. Also, the new RSI flight suit is pretty awesome too, so they can't wait to see that. So, next question, will we be able to support local planet groups, maybe the police or syndicates, with weapons or other stuff to change their influence? And they say that yes, this is the hope. Some missions will be to run supplies or guns to locations in need. Landing zones will have NPCs with perspectives and allegiances. Some will be apparent, some won't. And if you're hired to do a job, you may not be doing the job for who you think you are, but they're already doing things in the lore aspect, and how you interact with the world will change it, not on a great scale, but to a point, and if you all help out in the same place, then yes, there will be more of an obvious change. So that's pretty cool. Second to last question, What plans or hopes do you foresee in regards to customization for longer term intentions? Will the Star Citizen customization or builder or whatever it's going to be bring the fidelity of the characters to the level we've seen in our ships? And they say you will be sort of choosing heads, moving the geometry around. This is a later on thing as well, so you'll be able to pick a certain head and then affect the geometry of your face to create something that you think looks is what you want. It won't be too outrageous because they don't want monsters running around the place. Well, not ones that they've designed anyway. The tech they have now will allow for a really good variety of characters, plus getting them out much quicker than they expected. It is definitely a goal to make the customization extremely customizable, so there will be a lot we can do with it, but he did not really speculate as to the lengths. So, final question. Will you integrate the alien languages into the lore posts, and how will you do this? Also, when is the Galactopedia coming online? So, a nice sneaky 2 questions there. They say they're both long-term projects which are still being worked on now. They're not sure how to handle the language or putting it into the lore posts because they don't want to turn people off, so people who are new to the game who have no idea about languages, or people who just don't want to learn them, will not be able to read certain posts if they are language heavy or alien language heavy. They are currently working on the Galactopedia and they're going through the star map now. So much information, so again, this will be a constant project which will never really have an end. When they will release it to us is unsure. Anyway, that was the 10 for the devs. Let me know your thoughts. So, in Around the Verse 2.31 this week, we had Sandy and Forrest, as Ben is still on leave, but will be back very soon, I think Friday. Anyway, they said that next week they will pick the 5 favourite minor bios to win the RSI Orion, which was part of the whole Prospector lore post with the Shubin Interstellar. For everyone who entered, you will have a $5 coupon emailed to you. So, news from Around the Verse, starting with the CIG-LA office. They are finalising NICs, making sure all the lighting is uniform. They're working on the Caterpillar modules. Lots of work done on the item system 2.0, and they are redoing the lighting of the Constellation. Austin CIG, they're operating on 2.4 PTU feedback. They've got a live mocap in the UK at the moment. It's currently going on now for Squadron 42, and they're looking into Dumper's Depot. It won't be in for the first release of 2.4, but very soon after. They are setting it up now with the terminal purchasing. Foundry 42 in the UK, they say they're working on the Van Duel, and in Frankfurt, they just thanked us for our support. After that, we spoke to the creator of Voice Attack and a dev on the HCS voice packs. Now, last Sunday, I gave away one of the Orion Star Citizen voice packs, courtesy of Voice Attack and HCS, which is a big thanks to Noobifier, who is one of our redacted members, and he is the one responsible for creating the video for this launch of the Star Citizen voice pack called Orion with William Shatner. Now, if you don't know, Voice Attack is an application which turns your voice commands into macros and scripts on your computer, which in turn makes your ships do things. HCS, they take the actors and create responses for voice packs, and they are very, very well done as well. As I say, Noobifier created this video, I'll put it in the background, and thanks to him, everyone at Redacted is now doing giveaways for Voice Attacks and HCS. Now, I will be giving away a Voice Attack, possibly 2, I'm not decided yet, today on Star Citizen Sunday. I will bring the details of that later when I've figured them out. Currently there are 3 voice packs. We have William Shatner's Orion pack, Brent Spiner, who is Data from Star Trek Generations, his is the Vega pack, and the Midnight pack, which is Tom Baker's voice. They all have natural flavoured responses. They are very, very cool. It just brings more of a life to your ship. He did say that you can actually have all 3 of them in one ship eventually, and what would be nice, and what I'd like to see, is maybe having one for one ship, another for a different ship, so you get the more variation. So maybe in the future, Star Citizen might be able to incorporate maybe Misk using the Orion pack, then Anvil using the Data one, you know, or the Vega pack, and so on and so forth. But we shall see. Maybe that's something we'll all have to do separately. Anyway, all profiles have been launched, and there are links in the description on where to buy them. You do need Voice Attacks to run the HCS voice pack. The giveaway will include both. And also, do check out the Redacted group, because there's a lot of us. In fact, every one of us in the Redacted group will have packs to give away. So follow everyone on Twitter, follow everyone on Twitch, follow them all in YouTube. I will put links to the Redacted groups so you can follow them all. It's going to be a big description this week. But also do follow me on Twitch as well. I will be giving away more on Twitch as time goes on. Just trying to space them out a bit. But anyway, this is a Voice Attack profile, which is just really cool and really works. Do watch Noobify's video. It's definitely worth watching just to sort of see how it works and what it does. Awesome job on that video, Noobify. Anyway, after that, we had the wonderful world of Star Citizen, and this week it was the Imperial News Network, or ERIS, also known as David Alogia, who does a lot of work for the community and pretty much covers all bases when it comes to Star Citizen. Him and the INN group are just incredible at what they do. I highly recommend following them wherever you can. I won't put the links because I'll have too many links. But anyway, the most valuable post is the Mike Merck for his cel-shaded Star Citizen ships. Also, they pointed out that BritainCon, which is on the July the 23rd, I will be attending. They're having a CIG participant panel, which sounds like it'll be orientated towards Squadron 42, as it's the Manchester group. This is in Manchester. All the details are in the description, so follow the link to the website. I'm also on a panel. It is the Content Creators panel, so I'll have to dress kind of smart, I guess. But anyway, I do look forward to meeting you all there if you are going. Do let me know if you're going. It'll be fun to have a pint with you all. Maybe not all of you, because then I'll be drunk, but I could use 1 pint for a lot of people. Anyway, this week's fast forward is the piping system, and this is really awesome. I'm glad they put this up. I believe this is a 1 of 3 because he did mention the week before that there will be a 3-section piping system video. First thing we saw was the lights panel, so you have off, you have on, you have damaged. Also, we have blast shields, so you'll be able to hack. You can open them, you can close them. Very, very nice. Also, we saw door access, so if you destroy the door access or shoot it, then you have to pump the control handle 3 times, a lot like Alien Isolation, in order to open it. We saw gun cameras, and then finally, the best thing I think is the windows being shot out, and then all the air being sucked out and then the emergency closing. Very, very cool. I really like this. Obviously, it's all just sort of grey boxed or white box, so the textures aren't in. It looks very mediocre, but it's proof of where it's going. Anyway, that was Around the Verse. A pretty cool Around the Verse, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts. So in this week's Reverse the Verse, they started off by mentioning that next week's ATV will have a new ship shape for the Caterpillar Episode 2. We have had a look around the Caterpillar beforehand, but this is a new updated white box version with new features. Into Where's My Spaceship? They're working on the habitat module for the Caterpillar. That's being built out. Also, the command module is now back to 2 levels. The Herald is progressing. They said it's going to come sooner than we think, but no dates, obviously. The Reliant, as we know, is hangar ready. The Gemini, which is the mil-spec variant of the normal Starfarer, is at least hangar ready for 2.4. I know they said on the patch notes that we saw, the leaked patch notes, it said it would be flyable for 2.4. Now it's at least hangar ready. So it's going to be in 2.4, but they're not sure exactly in what respect. The F7A, which is the military spec variant of the Hornet, the latest one, this is the 2946 edition. They've got nothing to show, but it's sleek, futuristic, but obviously a Hornet. Sort of how the new Challenger looks compared to the old Dodge Challenger. I really cannot wait to see this. It's going to be, I love the Hornets, and yes, they look old, they look chunky, they look square, but I really like that look. This sounds like it's going to be a much more futuristic F7A. A new futuristic Hornet. I'm very excited for that. The Bucaneer will be $110 when it comes to concept sale. It's not likely to be next week, so possibly the week after. After that, they spoke about the PTU and obviously 2.4. Now, this is still in the NDA PTU testing, the Evocotti or avocados as we call them. The second wave is going to be a bigger wave and without the NDA. It has not been confirmed as to when. Hopefully next week. I'm got my fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll be streaming and making videos. Anyway, Evocotti, they have put out 5 patches, so that's A, B, C, D, and E. 94% of the testers who were invited to Evocotti have played in the first week. They've had 1,100 bugs submitted, which is a great amount of bugs. The Issue Council is going to have some improvements coming too. And if you wanted to get into the Evocotti, remember this is not a sneak peek. This is not just a way of getting in to take a quick look at something first and then never playing it again. It's for people who want to help test the game and get the bugs squashed. So I know a friend of mine, he says he reports about 60 bugs within the first few days. It's just a constant battle of login failures and all sorts of stuff like that. That's what they are for, is to keep getting these bugs squashed. They did say check next week for possible updates, so fingers crossed it's coming. There is also a persistence segment coming soon. We don't know when this is coming, but they're going to talk about persistence and what it brings. Anyway, on to the Q&A. So, will we see ship shopping in the near future? And they say at some point, all ships will be purchasable from in-game. It'll come when they feel comfortable with shopping and persistence. So when that is ready, obviously, it's not even in the game yet for us to test. It's in 2.4, but it's the first iteration, so we'll have to wait until it's a bit more fleshed out. So in terms of procedural planets, they say they have full rocky planets working. You can get in the Grey Cat and drive around, but nothing more was said. Tyler Whitkin may be at DragonCon. Multiplayer hangars will be worked on once persistence is working properly. Again, they need that first. The F7A will not be waiting till Squadron 42, so we should be able to get our hands on that beforehand. They're currently setting up animation for NPCs in ArtCore, so that's being worked on. The Avocado Group will not get the 999th Test Squadron badge, which is a post they put up on the RSI site earlier this week. They're still collecting Big Benny's videos. They have the video done or whatever it is they're wanting to do, but they're not 100% happy with it, so keep sending them in. If you have something really super interesting happening with Big Benny, send it to them. They may use it. Org 2.0 is an update to the entire communication platform. There's no dates as to when it's coming, but they did say that if they get half of what Turbulent have in mind into it, then it'll be way more than any other game. Anyway, in Cargo, they said they recently had a show and tell, and one of them was about Cargo, and they say, yes, Cargo is being worked on, and yes, it is awesome, but also, when this Caterpillar ship shape comes up, we will see some of this Cargo interaction with that, as well as tractor beams, from what I understand, which is very, very interesting. One of my favourite things will be cargo hauling. Anyway, for the Bucaneer sale, there'll be a little mini-game to keep us going. In terms of melee, we will have knives, and also there was a melee button in Star Marine where you would either hit them with the weapon butt or you would punch them. So it is going to be available. To what extent, they don't know. The Vanduul do have some interesting handheld weapons though. So the ATV fast forward that we saw on Thursday was part 1 of the piping system. Now this is examples of different mechanics for disabling security, doors, decompressions. Part 2 will be hacking, which is very cool. It's very early, there's no UI. It will be used in Squadron 42 and the Persistent universe. Very, very cool. I'll put up another little clip of that, I think, because really awesome stuff. Anyway, that was Reverse the Verse. So, also this week, we had a new Star Watch titled Outlets In. Star Watch is there to help you keep up with who's who in the universe. Finally, there was a portfolio post introducing the 999th Test Squadron, a group of pilots who put new ships and new tech through their paces. So, as mentioned earlier on, with the release of the HCS Star Citizen voice pack, the Redacted group have been giving away free bundles of Voice Attack and the HCS Orion Star Citizen voice pack, featuring William Shatner. Now in the description are the links to all the Redacted members with keys to give away, so be sure to follow them on Twitch or sub to them on YouTube and show your support. Also be sure to sign up to the Redacted website to keep up to date with all things Star Citizen. It's a brilliant website, highly recommended signing up to that. Anyway, to stand a chance of winning this voice pack from me, you must be a subscriber of course, and then let me know who you would want to hear as a voice of your ship AI. So if you had the choice of deciding who the next voice pack would be, who would it be? So you have 1 week to get your answers in, and I'll draw it on next week's Star Citizen Sunday. Be sure to follow me on Twitch as well. I will be giving more over time. So good luck. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for watching, and thank you to our subscribers, plus a massive thank you to our patrons as you make this possible. If you like what we do and want to help us make it better, follow the link in the description to our Patreon page to learn more.